Hey guys, it's me Kate again. So this video will be my April wrap-up. I'm pre-filming this because I really don't want to do things for school today. So here we have a stack of 14 books, which is little over half of what I read. I read 26 books in April. For 5 of them, I do have a stand-in right here. So without that stand-in, actually this stack would be exactly half. But for 5 of them, I do have a stand-in here because they are manga. That is, those 5 are ebooks of one manga series, and I have one of the volumes with me later on. And also for few of them I don't have anything, so I'll just mention and what I thought and stuff like that. So the first 2 books I actually finished the same day, but I finished Norse Mythology by Niel Gaimon chronologically first. So this one and the next one I started in March and finished on April 1st. They were both on my April TBR, so I counted that I finished them on April 1st. So this is Norse Mythology by Niel Gaimon. Is his interpretation of Norse mythology, as the name says. And yeah, my edition is a little wrongly cut, so I annotated this. So let's go where here. So I just have Odin's eye. And I just wrote I who, which sees everything and stuff like that. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. It was a little bit boring in parts, that's why it's not full 5 stars, but I still really enjoyed it. The next thing is The Gentleman's Guide to Whites and Virtue by Mackenzie. I don't remember which prompt this was, but this was prompt to read an old favorite, this and the other one that I'll come a little bit later on. So in this, I annotated this, so this was a reread for me. First I read this book in July of last year, I think. Yes, July, because I read it in C, and that's why my edition is water damaged. So here are following Monty, who is going on tour of Europe with his best friend Percy, who he is in love with, and they are going with Monty's sister Felix. All kinds of shenanigans go on in this book. So it was interesting. Of course I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And then we have Don't Kill Me Because I'm Mentioning This series by this author again. Soulbinder by Sebastien de Castell, book 4 in Spellslinger series. I honestly think that I'm mentioning this series in like every video, even though I don't, but... So this series is about a guy named Calender who is in the first book just about to get his mage's trials, but his magic is going bonkers and he decides to cheat. But of course it doesn't go as planned, and in this book he and his dear friend Rikus, whose name I finally know how to pronounce, are looking for Ebony everywhere. These monks who know how to deal with Shadow Black live and accidentally get separated on their way there. But of course I don't know how you can lose a squirrel cat, but the Cal manages. I give it 5 out of 5 stars. I honestly give every book in the series 5 out of 5 stars. And I have 2 left, and I don't know how I didn't manage to squeeze at least one of them in May's TBR, but because that apparently goes good for me because I read 2 books from this series back to back. So one in March, one in April. Then I read Court of Wings and Ruin, and also this is 3rd book in Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. So in this series, at least in the first few books, we're following Feyre. I say in first few because you will see 4th installment a little bit later in the video. So we're following Feyre who one day while she's hunting for her family accidentally kills Faye in his wolf form, and then his boss comes and takes her with him, and there's this war thingy happening, and I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, of course. Then I read A Court on Frost and Starlight. I don't remember what these 2 were for, this one in Pocopoli. I really don't remember, like that was a month ago from when I'm filming this. So this is installment 3.1 or 3.5 in A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. So here we have a story of winter solstice. Like it's short, it's 200 something pages. And these are 600 to 800 pages each, so except for the first one is a little bit shorter. So this one is about winter solstice. Again, we're following Feyre and stuff like that. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then this was another book that was Prompt Old favorite. Dinner with a Vampire by Abigail Gibbs. If you see my August wrap up of last year, you know that I have specific way of annotating my books. So red, pink usually means love, and blue usually means what's blue? Sad. But in this case, blue means messages and pink means everything else. Because this one was one that first one that I annotated, so it's a little bit different system. So in this book we're following Violet Lee, who is waiting for her friend so they can go clubbing. And while she's waiting, she witnesses a massacre of around 30 men. Like, we'll check one of the blue tabs, because for sure, oh no, this Casper reading her messages. 30 men, and because they figure out she's there, she was in the trees, so they haven't seen her before. When they figure out she's there, they decide to take her with her. Turns out these guys are vampires, 2 of whom are vampire princes, whose dad isn't really happy that they took her. And then she and Casper do all kinds of crazy things. I think she even at one point takes his condoms and throws them in dishwasher or something. I don't remember, even though I reread this book a million times. Yeah, this is a really weird one, for sure. I'll probably link reviews if I have any for these books. Then we have Felix Ever After by Kacen Calender. So in this book we are of course I gave this 5 out of 5 stars. This is a really old book. So in this one book we are following Felix, who is transgender and queer. I think he's bisexual. I think that's what he says at one point in this book. So he one day somebody posts his old pictures and from before he transitioned and his dead name, and a lot of stuff goes down and he ends up in in a quasi-life triangle between his with his best friend and best friend's ex. Yeah, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars again, but it was ridiculous, believe me. And then we have I made this month review for this book, A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas, which is fourth full-length novel and book number 4 in A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So in this one we are following Nesta, Feyre's older sister, and Cacen. Yes. And Nesta is healing after what happened in the 3rd book. I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, if I haven't mentioned, and it has nail polish. So it's gray and orange and black, and you have sparkly blue nail polish on the cover. So you're following her and Cacen, and they are and he is helping her. Again, they're ridiculous, and this is US edition, I think, because UK editions of this series are this much smaller. So, and this is, I think, 750 something pages, and plus really big, so this gigantic. Everything falls. So the next thing that I read, yes, is Aurora Burning by Amie, Kaufman and J. Kristoff, which is second book in Aurora Cycle, and sequel to Aurora Rising that I read again in March. So in this series we are following Squad 312, which is basically a band of misfits. So their leader accidentally is late to his graduation, and he's like the best leader in their academy, and instead of the best, he winds up with bottom of the barrel just because he was seeing this girl named Aurora. And we're following Squad 312, with Aurora, who is like joined them while they're doing all kinds of shenanigans, and they are trying to save the galaxy. And they're like, Aurora is a girl out of time. Tyler Jones, aka the leader, is the golden boy. Carl, guy on the cover, is has anger management issues. Scarlett Jones is heartbreaker and Tyler's twin sister, who's 3 minutes older than him and reminds him all the time of that, and has a black belt in sarcasm. Then we have Finn, who is smartest and does all kinds of stuff. Then we have Zilla, who is super intelligent, but her social skills aren't really good. And we have Kat, who is not into Tyler. Just if you were wondering, I gave this 5 out of 5 stars, if I haven't said that already. And then we get to the part when I have stand-in, because I read Food Wars Shokugeki no Soma volumes 1 to 5 in one day in school. So I read 5 volumes of manga, and it usually takes me a day for each, in half a day. So this is volume 10, and this is by Yuto Tsukuda, Shun Saeki, and Yuki Murasaki, or how I say it, Tsukada Yuto, Saeki Shun, and Masuraki Yuki, because I usually just use Japanese order in the names. So in this manga series and anime that I watched this month, by the way, that might have inspired the fact that I read 5 volumes in a day. So we're following Kukihira Soma, who works in his family diner with his dad. One day shows up and says he's going to close the diner for a few years and go to work with a friend, and kicks Soma out to this elite boarding cooking institute. Like, this whole series is the most ridiculous thing ever. So when you look in the cover, you see, okay, nothing much, and then you see this. They do all kinds of things. Oh, this is one where Albini faces off against Mimasaka. I think this, I gave all 5 volumes 5 out of 5 stars. Who's surprised? I think I can barely wait to get to volume 10, because I think that each time Albini has something to do with anything, yeah, the whole hell breaks loose. Which characters do we have here? So we have Erina, Nakiri Alice, her Erina's cousin, far better one in my opinion. Tadokoro Megumi, Aldini Takumi. There's no Isami in this one. There's also his twin brother Isami, but he's not on the cover, he's maybe inside. And then we have Hayama, who I don't think anybody by his first name, not even June. Kurokiba, Mimasaka, and Hisako-chan. She hates when they call her that. Mostly because Hisako-chan or something similar means secretary in Japanese. So we have Sei's Mandona, who is Alice's and Erina's grandfather. And who else we have? Oh, we have this bunch. This bunch over here. They're always somewhere. Oh, Ryoko, Nikumi, and Yuki. What else do we got here out of characters? Like, most ridiculous thing ever. What the hell? Oh, Eizan. Even Hinako shows up in here. Like, Eizan definitely has some mafia connections, and I'm not even joking. There must... Oh, Yankee-sami! And I honestly just sounded like Italian, and I don't even know Italian, even though Italy is not that far from Croatia. But I don't know Italian. There has to be Shun. I think this is Shun, or Shun is the other one. I don't know. I always mix two of them up. Oh, young slim version of this Amie. Oh, these two. What are their names? They should know their names. Oh, that was Shun. Aoki, and what's the other one? I can't find it. Who else do we got here? Like, this video will take a while. We have cameo of Lemon here. What else? These are these two cooking. Oh, Soji, I think. I always mix two of them up. Like, where's Ishiki senpai? Like, he has to be here. And the best chapter cover ever. Because honestly, New Elite 10 is mafia. You can't change my mind. There is somebody else that shows up here. I'm certain. Might even Aldini's parent. No. I don't even remember from the anime what was in which episode. If I did, it would be interesting. What else? Another one. Like, I'm gonna just like Like, I'm always laughing because I always remember anime situations, and that's thing in itself. That's all kinds of ridiculous. Dojima again. I know that somebody else was supposed to. The best thing is Soma's picturing another Shokugeki. I can't stop laughing because I always remember the anime. Oh, this one I have. The next thing we've got is Crescent City or House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. I read this. In this one we're following Bryce, whose best friend was murdered 2 years ago and supposed killer is in jail, but somebody starts to commit same kind of murders. But the thing is, the police never released some specific things in the public. So they opened the investigation again. And then Hunt and Fallen Angel Hunt are hunting for the killer. No pun intended. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This and another one are the only books of Sarah J. Maas that I gave 4 stars. The only reason why this isn't 5 stars is I found Hunt annoying in some parts, and I definitely want more to see of Bryce's brother. What the hell is his name? Has to be here. Rune? I think it's supposed to be pronounced Rune, and his friends, because they're ridiculous. I have nothing else to tell you about that one. Now we get into one that I don't have anything for, and I hopefully never will, considering it was 1 star and it just was barely escaped being DNF just because it was a play and I had, 2 acts left till the end or something. So I listened to the audiobook of Romeo and Juliet by Shakespeare. You understand that it was 1 star when I tell you that it took me 2 years to listen to that audiobook, which is about 2 hours long, on 2 times speed. 2 years. Like, it was awful. Then we have A Gathering of Shadows by Schwab. So this one's about this is second book in Darker Shade of Magic series. So we're following Cal and Lila, and Cal is one of the last Antari, and he can travel through parallel Londons. So there are 4 Londons. Red London, where Cal is from, where everybody has magic and worships it. Then we have White London, when only elite has magic. Then we have Grey London, where Lila is from, which is our London with no magic. And we have Black London, which was destroyed by magic. And one day Cal does his side job, which is smuggling things from one London to another, and somebody steals it, and he and Lila meet, and whole shit breaks loose, and now they're in Red London and there's some kind of tournament. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. Oh, next one I do have. Then I read reread Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. We passed my Bookopoli TBR a long time ago. So this one is about these 2 magicians who are competing against each other, but they don't know who each other is or how they are supposed to compete. They only work in the circus and compete and trying to outdo each other. And what's her name? Celia was trained by her father, who always comes nagging at her that why is she doing something and not something else. And Marco was adopted and trained by this other guy, who is the rival of Celia's father, who was never around. I love this book, gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Then we get into a few audiobooks that I listen to. So let me just get my phone really quick. My wife decided not to listen to me, but to know. So the next thing then I listened to audiobook of Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb and loved it. So this is first book in let me just check, Realm of the Underlings and Farsia trilogy. I need to check. And we're following Fitz, who is recounting his life story of becoming a royal assassin. And here we're following him from the age of 6 to into his teenage years. I don't know for how long, but we're following him for a while. And I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So the story goes, he was for some time he was raised by his mother and his maternal grandfather, and then his maternal grandfather decides to ship him off to his father, who is crown prince named Chivalry. Yes, it's ridiculous, I know, but when his father finds out, he abdicates the throne, leaves, and dies. And when Fitz grows up, raised by a stable man, until one day when his grandfather, the king, decides, oh, he would be great assassin, let's make him an assassin. So they train Fitz to be an assassin. And then I listened to Every Heart Doorway by Shauna McGuire, which is first book in Wayward Children series. But I heard that you don't necessarily need to read them in order, but I did. At least first 2, the second one will come a little bit later. So here I'm following Eleanor West's home for wayward children. And basically, so kids in this world go through these doorways, and we go into all kinds of different worlds. And when they come out, if and when they come out, they have hard time adjusting. So, and Eleanor was one of those children and decided to make home for those children. And we're following Nancy, who is new, who really wants to go back to her portal world. And stuff goes from there. We're following, we meet Kate. I forgot where this one spreadsheet. I put none instead of asexual. Okay, not important now for this video. It will be important on December something, but I'll change it now. And stuff goes from there. Then I listened to New Kid, audiobook of New Kid by Jerry Craft, where we're following kid named a kid who is new kid in school. There are only, and he's black, and there's only few black other students. And then he befriends two other students, and we're following him on his way of being new kid. Every time though a new kid got 5 out of 5 stars. Whoa. Now we get into my 2 favorite books of the month, which are Witchblood and Witchbond by Lissa Kasey. Okay, or I think it's Kasey or Casey or something, but those are first and second book in how is series called? It's Kitsune Chronicles, I think. I'll check. Why is yes, Kitsune Chronicles. So we're following Sebastien, who in both, I will just talk about them both together because they both got 5 out of 5 stars and they're in the same series. So we're following Sebastien, and he's been on a run for past year, but one day he stumbles into this town in the middle of nowhere and goes to the bakery and tries to find the job. But there he meets this guy who seems familiar, but he doesn't know from where, and basically runs out. And I skipped the prologue, damn it. So Sebastien lived with his adoptive father, Volkov, and one day he got attacked, and then some guy came, Sebastian's gate, and Sebastien kissed him, and got his energy back and healed. Turns out that was his mate. We are coming back to what I was talking about earlier, before I remember that I forgot what happened earlier, why he's on the run. Because it's in prologue. It turns out Liam was that guy from a year ago. And they're mates. Oopsie daisy. Then all Liam breaks loose. What did you expect? But Goodreads' synopsis of the first one is: Sebastien survived as a fox among wolves by running from everything he ever loved. Sebastien is a mega who has never even dreamed of finding his alpha. A fox raised among werewolves, Seb has spent his entire life fighting to survive until Liam rescues him from a demon from his past. The guy who a year ago attacked Sebastien. My thoughts are running all over the place right now. As an alpha werewolf, Liam is everything Sebastien has spent the last year and his entire life avoiding. Except when they are together, everything makes sense. Stars align and fate and mates becomes Seb's reality real rather than fiction. When Seb's past catches up with them, he and Liam will need to keep the bond or die fighting the darkness that is determined to tear them apart. And Liam's daughter is like, she is the mood. Like, Sebastien tells her something during the breakfast. Goes wash the dishes. Liam comes and girl rats him out. And then we have the second book, which is Witchbond. So, description on Goodreads of this one is: everyone wants control over Sebastian's power. After a hard year on the run from everything from biker pairs to Great Lake sirens, Seb thought he had found a home. Liam, his mate and alpha werewolf, seemed the safest place to rest until the Fae sent the wild hunt their way. They decided Liam isn't strong enough to subdue Kitsune and will stop at nothing to bind Seb to one of theirs. Even if it means eliminating Liam and tricking Seb into a bargain he can't refuse. Can they survive being stalked by the hunt, tricked by the Fae, and barely escaping corrupted otherworld of Underhill? Again, Liam's daughter is the mood. She's probably one of my favorite characters of this month. She's, spoiler alert for my later video. So, next I read Listen to Enchantment of Ravens by Margaret Rosenstern. So this book is about this girl who is a painter, and in this world Fae can't do anything. Then Prince of Autumn card comes and asks for her to paint his picture, and she paints human emotion in his eyes, which is bad. And then he gets her to go. They go to his court for the trial, but they somehow wind up in Summer Court, which is on the other end of the continent. I gave it 2 out of 5 stars. What did you expect? For me to remember anything? Then I read Down Among Sticks and Bones by McGuire, which is second book in Wayward's children's series. In this one we are following Jack and Jill in their portal world, And this one is technically happening before every heart doorway. That's what I meant when that you can read them out of order, because some of the later ones happen before the first one. And their portal world is basically, there is this vampire lord who is called the Master, and here these villagers and these mad scientists, Jack and Jill are the twins. So their parents raised Jack to be this purple lady and Jill to be a tomboy. Oopsie daisy, they get into the portal world, Jill becomes the lady and Jack goes with the mad scientist. Gave it 4 out of 5 stars. And the last thing that I read is my Weird of Tales, the Beetle, the Bard. I had a few days left and I decided, this is short, I'm gonna read this. And I did. Okay, 5 out of 5 stars. That's it for this video. Now I gotta go to charge my camera so I can film other videos. So yeah, that's it for this video, which I hadn't thought will be this long. And I'll see you in the next one.